Ipswich Town are battling hard against relegation from the Premier League, which is no surprise given their back-to-back promotions into the top flight of English football. As many predicted, like myself, they were one of the only teams being promoted that I truly believed had a chance of staying in the Premier League, and that is due to their fantastic manager in Kieran McKenna and their brilliant signings like Liam Delap and Jack Clarke. Now today, we are looking to keep Ipswich in Premier League survival and then turn them into a top 4 Premier League club while signing players from only the Benelux region, a region suggested by you legends in the comments and brought out by the mystery wheel. So let's get into this Ipswich Premier League domination, Benelux only rebuild. Now to kick things off in this Ipswich rebuild, it is purely about survival in the Premier League, which is why we are deploying a 3-4-3 system to go defensive and survive this first season. Now I am going to be setting a 6-year cap on this rebuild, as I'm going to simulate this first season with no signings and then go 5 years on from there. And there is some players in this starting lineup that I want to see progress into superstars. Number 1, Liam Delap. I need to see this guy as Ipswich's number 9, and I'll be keeping him as the star striker for the whole of this rebuild to see how good we can make Liam Delap. Jack Clarke, a player who was impressed massively in the Premier League, signing from Sunderland in the summer, looks like an absolute baller. I also want to see how good we can get Jack Clarke. Amari Hutchinson is a fantastic winger slash central attacking midfielder who is absolutely fantastic, and again I want to see how we can do with him, but I'm not as fussed. I want to see Delap and Clarke. I want to see them two winning Premier League titles with Ipswich. Leif Davis, a unbelievable left back with outrageous crossing and fantastic speed. Let's see if we can make him a top star, and then we sort of fall off a bit, to be honest. Sam Morsey, while he's an Ipswich legend, is probably on the edge of Premier League quality. Calvin Phillips is on loan, and that's all I need to say about Calvin Phillips. Wes Burns have actually got in as the attacking right wing back rather than Harry Clarke or Ben Johnson. I want to see what Wes Burns can do in this attacking wing back role. And then the back three, I'm a big fan of Axel Tuanzebe. I'm a United fan, as you can see, and I'm a massive fan. Luke Wolfenden is a bit of an Ipswich legend again. Decent centre back, very good defensively and decent speed, so hopefully we can see him go well. And Dara O'Shea is our third choice left-footed centre back with Andre Muric in goal, who I'm not a massive fan of in real life, but with 16 area reach, 18 jumping reach, he could be huge in this team. And we are set to a positive mentality, good in possession. We're looking to get down them wings and play for set pieces because we've got 3 defenders, quite a big meaty team. Let's see if we can really see him bully the Premier League and see if we can actually survive. I mean, Football Manager thinks we've got more hope than Southampton and about the same as Leicester, so we'll see what we can do. I'm hopeful of securing survival. I think this Ipswich team is actually doing very well in real life, and I'm very, very impressed. As a guy that lives very close to Ipswich, it was only 2 years ago I went with Josh Daly and watched Ipswich on the last day of the League One season as they won 5-0. Never would I now think they were playing at home against Portman Road against Man City. Even if they did get battered 6-0, that's an absolutely massive achievement for Ipswich, and fair play to them. A little club from Suffolk doing absolute wonders. Let's see if we can turn them into Premier League winners, though. Now, for the scouting, we are using the scouting focus is to find the Luxembourg under-21 internationals, Belgium under-21 internationals, and Netherlands under-21 internationals. Now, I am going to make sure there is a Luxembourg player in this team. No disrespect to Luxembourg, a very small nation. Belgium and Netherlands is wonderkids central, so hopefully we can find some big players. Of course, we are scouting them 21s. We can then just come into here and we can find the best players from the main regions, from them nations, quite easily using star ratings, transfer value, and well reputation. So we won't worry too much about scouting them, but finding the wonderkids is where this key is going to be absolutely key, because we need to get this team at a good level. First season vote, let's survive and then see what we can do with the Benelux transfers only. Safety in the Premier League was always going to be incredibly difficult, but it was games like this against Crystal Palace where we really needed a team to step up and show that we were Premier League quality. Palace down with us in a relegation battle, but our quality, especially in this game, showed true. Liam Delap scoring an equaliser and then Palace going 2-1 up. But the thing with Ipswich is that fight and that spirit that they have have got. And the tactic we've built worked absolute wonders. Leif Davis down the left-hand side, finding Jack Clark being a magician and scoring to make it 2-2. And the third and final goal coming from George Hurst, a player as a rotational striker, is fantastic as he spins his man and puts it into the top corner. As mentioned, a massive game in safety in the Premier League. Palace rooted down in 19th place as Ipswich comes 16th and just about survive, to be fair, by 6 points. Even though we didn't get the magic 40 points total, we had a pretty decent season. And I've got to say, the bottom three is fairly decent. Southampton getting relegated, Wolves getting relegated, and Palace having a pretty poor season as well. Everton just about surviving, but Leicester battering everyone. 46 points, fair play to them. And then the top four being City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Villa, Chelsea, United, and Brighton. What on earth have you done up here? You absolute frauds. Already sacked Amorim and got Conte in. Fair enough. Respective football manager. That's not what I would do, but there we go. Anyway, Ipswich, we're not on about United. Goal scorers, Liam Delap. Premier League quality? I think so. 10 goals in 37 games. How impressive has this man been in real life? He has been outstanding. His fight, his passion, his determination. And one thing that I didn't actually know, which seems very stupid, he's actually Rory Delap's son. The throw-in merchant from 10, 15 years ago. This is his son. How did I not put 2 and 2 together? I just did not realise that at all. And it makes me want him even more to become a successful striker. Absolute story. Jack Clark, very good season. 9 goals, 3 assists. Very good development on him as well. Let's see if we can get either of them some England caps in this rebuild too. Both of them currently sitting on 0. It'll be good to see if either of them get on the score sheet for England. Leif Davis, 0 caps for England. Also someone I would like to see developed. He was wanted by clubs already, like Al Ittihad. If they come in and offer him 500k a week, it's quite a steep increase on his 15k. So we'll have to see if he stays at the club. But a superb left back nonetheless. And George Hurst, 0 starts because I locked in Liam Delap up front. I wanted him to be the starter. And 3 goals. So decent off the bench, to be fair to him. But Liam Delap being our main guy is what I wanted to see. Now, transfers wise, we have got lots of money in the bank. 68,100,000 pounds in wage budget. And for me now, this is where the rebuild really starts. I can now get my scouting hat on and go and find these Benelux players. And just look at this graph as well. Premier League safety, Premier League football equals lots and lots of cash. Right then, in terms of incomings, my number 1 signing is Cisco Somerville, signed from West Ham United. In this rebuild, there is no Jayden Philipponge at Ipswich. He is still at Aston Villa. I've done this rebuild like a week ago. Fantastic signing, by the way. We've brought in Somerville to be our attacking winger. And we've signed another winger as well. And that's because we've rotated into a 4-2-3-1 system. So welcome in Anthony Descote, who can also play as a striker. It was then time to improve our goalkeeping position. And I brought in man-mountain 6'8" Andreas Noppert with 5 caps for the Dutch national team. Just 81 caps in professional divisional football, which is weird how he's got 5 caps for the Dutch national team, but I believe it was a few years ago actually in the Euros or something. This guy was a superstar. He has 20 jumping reach, 18 area reach, and I'm excited to see what he can do. We then move on to Keith Smith, who is a 6 foot, 18-year-old ginger Paul Scholes looking legend. I mean, he's going to be fantastic. He can play a ball like a legend at 18 years of age. He's quite big, good physically, good on both feet. I've got very high hopes for the Paul Scholes regen. And another DM signed is Asta Vranks. This guy, I can't believe we just picked up. A value of between 36 and 51 million pounds. Ipswich don't have that sort of money, but we do have a bargain central, £3.5 million signed from Wolfsburg, where he didn't have a great season, let's be honest, but he's from the Benelux region. He's got 2 caps for Belgium, and he looks absolutely fantastic while being consistent. And to cap the rebuild off with signings in season 1, it's 2 youngsters, number 1, Diego Moreira, and number 2, young Belgian DM, Noah Siddiqui. Now we transition into our 4-2-3-1 system, and we can see exactly how we're looking to play. I've tried to keep that Ipswich style of play still, the attacking left wing back, getting down the wing while Jack Clark sits slightly central and links up with Hutchinson and Delap. Somerville keeping the width on the right wing while Johnson slips slightly deeper to almost make like a 3-3-3-1, where we can really push Davis right up to be an attacking wing back, make a sort of semi-back 3, 2 DMs sitting nice and strong in the middle, and we can get as creative as we like in the middle role here. Davis, Clark, Hutchinson, Somerville and Delap. That is absolutely fantastic, and I'm very excited. Surely we've shot up in the Premier League season preview. No, we haven't. We're bottom behind Norwich, who've been promoted. Should we watch us absolutely batter them? Well, we didn't batter them, but we did beat them. We beat Norwich at Portman Road. Luke Wolfenden with a back post header and a second as well, as Connor Chaplin finds George Hurst. The on-rushing run of Somerville using that electric pace. Just classic Norwich, shocking defending. He scores to make it 2. Norwich are going to score, and it's Kenny McLean as well. I just do not like him at all. He scores to make it 2-1, but eventually ended up with us winning the game 2-1. We won't talk about the game in Carrow Road because it's not important. What is important, they've been relegated and we've come 13th. We lost, all right, I'm sorry. But it doesn't matter. They're gone. We don't need to think about them anymore. They're back down in the Championship. But we are making steady progress into becoming a mid-table Premier League side. And just think of how young this squad is as well. We are progressing while building a very strong side. So I'm very, very happy. 48 points, -3 goal difference, but 14 wins, 18 losses, 6 draws. Pretty damn impressive. Arsenal winning the Premier League. And for us, some pretty decent stats here. Now, I'm very surprised to see Connor Chaplin play 38 games, but he's absolutely smashed it. 2 assists, while Liam Delap gets 13 goals as well with 0 assists. So he's actually outscored our striker. George Hurst as the backup, 9 starts, but 9 goals, is technically rated as a better striker than Liam Delap. Now, I locked Liam Delap in again up front because George Hurst is an absolute bagsman on FM. If you've never used him, use him. I've listed him and I'm going to try and get 23 million for him. He's going to buy a bunch of Premier League clubs. I'll take the 20 mil because I'm genuinely having to lock Delap in, otherwise he won't play games. Jack Clark, very good season, 8 goals, 5 assists. And Murray Hutchinson, 4 goals and 8 assists. But the main man, Leif Davis, that attacking left wing back role, 17 assists. I don't know where I got 28 from. With extreme consistency. I am worried though. He is wanted by Al Ali, same as last season. I think he's now going to kind of push for a move, which is worrying. I hope he doesn't. But at the end of the day, I can't keep him if they come in and offer stupid money because we are Ipswich and this is a Benelux rebuild. So I'll happily go out there and sign like a Tyrell Malacia or something. Luke Wolfenden, a very strong centre-back in fact. 26, very impressed by Big Luke. He has been very, very good in this rebuild so far. And Moreira and Siddiqui, when they played, were also very, very good, which is fantastic to see. FA Cup, we got a quarter-final by Liverpool, 3rd rounded in the Carabao Cup by Middlesbrough. So nothing really to shout home about there. But that is only season 1 of this rebuild because I'm doing an extra season for the fact the first season is basically just Premier League survival. So make sure you're liking the video if you are enjoying it so far and get your comments in down below how many trophies we are going to win using this Benelux only region rebuild. Let's go for season 2. Just saw me use my foreshadowing powers as Leif Davis leaves to Newcastle and we signed Tyrell Malacia. Wow, I'm a genius from the future. A little bit of foreshadowing there. Malacia joins the club as our attacking left wing back and I'm a massive fan. He's extremely consistent. He likes big matches and this guy in real life has just had a few issues with injury. I mean, I say a few, he didn't play for like 18 months. I think he's going out on loan in real life and by the time you see this rebuild, he might have already gone out on loan. He is fantastic and genuinely believe that without that injury, he would be our starting left wing back. We'd have Mazraoui on the right wing back. We wouldn't be having too many issues because this guy when he joined shows great like passion. He's very brave. He's very aggressive. He's very good on the ball, very good tackling wise. And I think we picked up a bargain here for just £6.5 million pounds. And given we just raised 28 for Leif Davis, I'm pretty happy to bring Malacia in. And then I went and spent a bunch of money on Quinton Timber. I spent literally everything, £68 million. It is stupid, it is too much, we have broken the bank, but he is an outrageous DM, a 4.5 star on our team so far, makes us a much better side, and that DM role was sort of, it was doing well with Franks and Morsey, etc., but we needed a superstar. And at Quinton Timber, he is that guy. He is just outstanding. Next up is Jaden Candelaria, a Dutch backup left back to Malacia if he doesn't quite work out. And then we have our first Luxembourg signing. It's Evandro Borges Sanchez from Borussia Mönchengladbach. Let's go. A Luxembourgian into this team. Is that Luxembourgian? That might not be what they're called. Let me know. What are Luxembourg people called? He is good in big matches. He is consistent. Agility-wise, fantastic. Flair-wise, fantastic. Suits the attacking flair of this Ipswich side massively. And already, obviously, 38 caps for his national team because there's not many superstars at Luxembourg. I mean, if you don't know anyone, we've got Danny Motta, Leandro Barreiro. I mean, a couple of these look good. Oh, wait, he's ours. I've got out and I've signed the best Luxembourg player there is on the game, Danny Motta, signed from Brianza for, I believe it was like 12.5 million. It was indeed a pretty decent signing, and he looks very, very well rounded. He can play left, he can play right, he can play up front, and for some reason, he's only got 16 caps for the Luxembourg national team. Has he just changed allegiances from Portugal? Or, yeah, very possibly that's what's happened there. So Danny Motta, what a guy. Consistent Leipzig matches. He's a superstar. Barbara Bruggen is up next. Yes, we have made a lot of signings. The best Dutch young goalkeeper. Noppert is decent, but like his replacement for the Dutch national team, Barbara Bruggen is coming in to be our number one. And I've run out of money, so I've made a loan signing of Ayanda Sishuba from Tottenham Hotspur. Now, this guy starts at Hellas Verona. Spurs have signed him. I've never seen him before. He looks absolutely fantastic. Extreme consistency, great on both feet. Let's see what Sishuba can turn into, because he's got a value of around £30 million, and we've shown already we're quite happy to spend a lot. We've spent around 180 million, raised about 80 million. £100 million has been spent in this rebuild so far. I'm happy to go out and sign some players if needs be. And in fact, our team, I actually am now a huge fan of. We now actually have a player from all three nations in this team. Danny Motta on the right wing, Sishuba in cam, Quinton Timber, Vranks, Johnson, Twanzebe, Jacob Greaves, Malasia and Barbara Bruggen. Of course, still Luke Wolfenden, Darragh O'Shea, Harry Clark, Calandaria, Noppert, Keith Smith. Cameron Humphreys is someone that's really impressed as well. While he's not, absolutely outstanding, he is just, 21 years of age and has 5-star potential. We could see Cameron Humphreys getting to the starting lineup as well. Borja Sanchez, Murray Hutchinson, Descote, Somerville, a very strong side. And I now actually believe this team is good enough for European football. A great defence. We've gone to a more traditional 4-2-3-1. Fullbacks on attack, wingers on attack. We're absolutely going for it down the wings, hopefully being strong in the middle. Greaves, Twanzebe, Vranks, Timber, very strong core four, attacking wing backs, attacking wingers, and of course our superstar up front, Liam Delap. That superstar Liam Delap that now had 7 caps for the English national team and just grabbed 19 goals in all competitions, including 18 in the Premier League for Ipswich. He was simply outstanding this season, but it wasn't just him. We have built an absolute powerhouse team where we can score an outrageous amount of goals from all different positions. This game is against Birmingham City, and we're going to show what a strong team we are. Delap scoring, then Cameron Humphreys. It's quite cool. We've got the Benelux rebuild, but also we've got a bunch of young English stars in here as well, showing that we are also able to bring youth players into the team and be fantastic. Somerville makes it 3, and then Ben Johnson finds down the wing, and guess who's going to score a hat-trick in this game? We've only seen one from him so far, but Liam Delap, 91 minutes in, scores his 4th and a 5th in the 94th. We do not let up. We do not stop. We will batter anyone that stands in our way, and Liam Delap will score lots of goals. And I mean, looking through the amount of goals we scored this season, sorted by our biggest results: 5-0, 4-2, 3-1, 3-1, 3-0 against Arsenal, 3-0 against Bournemouth, beating Arsenal again 2-1, doing the double, beating Leicester twice, Wolves, Bournemouth. I mean, what a season. And all of that came together to get Ipswich 7th place in the Premier League on 62 points. What a year. I told you last season, just having players in the team that are young and growing is going to be absolutely massive. It has got so good that we are now literally a top 8 Premier League team. I know we spend lots of money, but also just our young developing squad has helped massively. 18 wins, 12 losses, 8 draws, positive goal difference, 62 points, and an absolute bagsman up front in Liam Delap as well. And I've got to say, I did tweak the tactic again in this rebuild, making it more of like it's just my standard 4-2-3-1 to be honest, but using the wing backs as more going wide again and keeping like a 5 going forward, because these lot, I'm going to just actually show you how the tactic will work in game. We basically have these lot go up here and create a very strong back 4. It's more a bit like this, I suppose, isn't it? We almost make a 2-4-3-1, and we just overload teams so much in this central area. There is so many players everywhere. You saw in that 5th and final goal, there are like 3 cams in there and here, and then a ball through to Liam Delap. We're just absolutely fantastic and I love it. This tactic and all the rebuilds that we make on the channel here are all available to download on the Patreon. If you want that, the link is down below. £5 a month help me massively. And if you think we're slowing down for FM25, you are severely wrong. Rebuilds every other day. There is now as well a tactics channel in the making. We have more Kempi XI. So if you do want to go and find that channel, there's a little Easter egg in this rebuild video. Go and find it, subscribe to it. You're an absolute legend. It looks the exact same. The logo is just red. But the Patreon as well, you can help me out massively there. £5 a month, and you can get access to this unbelievable tactic, which has just worked wonders. I mean, we done awful in the Cups, second round by Southampton, third round by QPR, but our league form was outrageous. Star players as well, like Aston Ranks, 7.03 average rating. Goal scorers this season were aplenty. Delap with 19, Clark with 8, Motta, a Luxembourg king, 14 goal contributions in the Premier League. Jacob Greaves, 7 and an assist. Shubia, 5 goals, 3 assists in that cam roll, progressing very nicely, still only worth that much. I think we have found a pickup for us. Moreira out on loan, very impressive, 10 assists for him as well. 5 for Ben Johnson. Obviously, we have lost that massive output of Leif Davis, who is at Newcastle, who are in 9th and outside of European football. So, Leif, mate, you should have just stayed. Oh, he's a backup there as well. Heartbreak for him. 4 assists. You shouldn't have left Ipswich, mate. We are now on big things, and it's without star man Leif Davis. Still no England cap for Jack Clark, though. We are going to be keeping an eye on that throughout the rebuild. Finances-wise, it might have looked like we spent a lot of money, but to be honest, we are just very rich now. £60 million in the bank still, £70 million in transfer budget, £8 million in transfer debt. That is literally it. Once you become a Premier League side of no debt, you can just make as many signings as you want, and it's absolutely fantastic. So for this season, I did tone things down a lot. We made 2 signings. Number 1, bringing in Ayanda Seshuba. Fantastic loan spell last season, 5-star potential, has to join the club. And number 2, a rotational DM in 22-year-old Matej Smet, signed from KRC Genk. Again, looks like a great DM, but can also drop in to centre-back, just showing his real defensive quality in the team. I'm a massive fan of this Ipswich squad we've built now. I am really excited and think we can genuinely challenge now for the top 4 in the Prem, Europa League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup. I think it's time to lift our first trophy. And if this league phase table has got anything to go off, I think it definitely will be. 21 points, winning the league phase group. Now, very quickly, we had absolutely awful second half form in the Premier League because we sent everything into winning the Europa League. So we did finish in 15th place this year. But if we win the Europa League, it will all be worth it. So that is our goal for this season, and you can see some lovely football, finding an opening goal in the round of 16 against Club Brugge, finished off by Danny Motta. We're then going to see a second as Jack Clark drives down the left-hand side, using his magical pace to find Somerville on the right-hand side to poke home. That dual threat out wide with outrageous speed has been so key for us in this whole entire rebuild, and just having that focal point up front and Liam Delap is also absolutely massive. Tuanzebe finds Ben Johnson in the middle to find Somerville to poke home for free. Club Brugge are going to grab a goal back in this game to make it 3-1, but there was absolutely no match for us. We had just won the league phase on 21 points, and when they do score to make it 3-1, we won 2-1 in the second leg, and we advance in to the quarterfinals of the Europa League. We faced a much harder test of AS Roma, and in the first leg away from home at the Olimpico, we lose 3-2 and lose star man Murray Hutchinson to injury. So it's time for our Benelux signings to step up, or for Roma to gift us goals. Descote scores to tie the game up and send it to extra time, where Jacob Greaves gets to the left-hand side, finds Danny Motta to set Dara O'Shea, and a wonder goal from Smets to win the quarter-final tie for Ipswich here at Portman Road against Roma. The semi-finals, though, are not going to be easy, because you eagle-eyed viewers would have seen that Manchester City were also in the Europa League, and Erling Haaland boxed a hat-trick past us at the Etihad in the first leg. But Portman Road is a fortress, and we have built a fantastic team full of players from all 3 regions, as Danny Motta, the Luxembourgian king, scores to make it 1-0, and we show our fight, determination and passion once again as in extra time Ayanda Seshuba scores to make it 2-0, and we beat Manchester City 5-4 an aggregate, which sets up a final against defensive masterclass manager Diego Simeone and Atletico Madrid. But we are going to pick them apart and lift our first trophy in this rebuild as Malacia scores to make it 1-0. But it's not just one. Malacia down the left-hand side gets down once again and finds that man Delap in the middle to make it 2. But it's not just 2. Let's make it 3 and finish the game up and show he really deserved this Europa League trophy. Delap finding Somerville for an outrageous finish into the top corner as Ipswich win the Europa League and we beat Atletico Madrid. Showing it was definitely worth it to send everything to make us champions. Obviously a very good run and winning it, but a very difficult run in the league. Having this amount of games was a big surprise to me, that it really shocked us this much, to the point of 20 points being dropped, just showing that maybe making 2 signings last season, one improved our first team and made us overall better. Our rotation options were pretty poor still and we needed to improve massively. The good thing is Champions League football. We can pretty much go out there and sign any player we want now. 43 points is absolutely shocking, but we will move on past that because there's lots of positives this season. Somerville, 14 goals, 11 assists. Liam Delap, 13 goals and 4 assists. I think he's holding us back a little bit, I'll be completely honest. I'm going to keep to my word though. I want him to be our striker as we hopefully win the Premier League by the end of season number 6. 14 caps for England and 3 goals shows he's probably a very good rotation option and potentially now starter, replacing Harry Kane. Developing very, very well. And he is really good on this sort of January update I'm using from FM Inside. No paid promotion, I suppose I should say. He's just absolutely brilliant and he develops really, really well. Danny Motta as well. So impressed. To have a Luxembourg player in this top 3 is outrageous. 12 goals and 6 assists. Thank you for being a king. Sishuba, 11 goals, 8 assists. Great signing. Hutchinson, 11 and 6. Jack Clark, 11 and 3. I mean, what a young, exciting bunch of players this is. Other than Danny Motta being 29, all of them below 26. And Jack Clark, still no England cap. Maybe it's not going to happen for him. We shall see. Still apparently a leading championship player. What cap that is. Quentin Timber, I've not touched him too much, but he's just a DM who's fantastic. Worth now 86 million. If you want to sell him, we could. Outrageous player. Ben Johnson, 10 assists, is also great in that right back role. And Cameron Humphreys in DM. Great progression from him this season. 9 assists and doing really, really well. Unreal to see him sort of come into this first team and really stake a claim for that DM role. But next year, I want to lift another trophy, and I don't think it's going to be the Premier League, and I'm 99.9% sure it's not going to be the Champions League, so our goal is either FA Cup or Carabao. Our first signing this season is another young, tricky winger. It's that man, Julian de Ranville, to come in the wing position and add some more quality to this front line. While number 2 is a Belgian centre-back in Arthur Theete to add some more quality into this fantastic defence. A great signing, meaning we no longer rely on just like Tuan Zabi, Dara O'Shea, Luke Wolford, etc. Arthur Theete now comes in and he's an absolute demon. And once again, to be honest, that was it in terms of signings. We made no more. It was just the 2, which sort of goes against what I said with the having loads of players into coming to make our team better. But when we look through the age profile of the squads, I'm really not worried about that too much. We have some good young players coming through. Keith Smith is still here and not really progressing too much. But in terms of the youth of the squad, we're just getting better and better and better. So I didn't really feel the need to replace some of these younger players. But actually, they're just getting better anyway with game time and with age progressing. The team is now looking like so. Verbruggen in goal. Johnson, Theete, Jacob Greaves, Malacia, Timber, Smets, Somerville, Sishuba, de Ranville and Delap. I'm not too sure who's going to play on this wing spot. Could be Clark, could be de Ranville. I mean, based on star ratings, it's definitely going to be Jack Clark out there. Somerville on that right-hand side, though, could come out. We could also see Danny Motta play more games out there. Depends how things go. But very, very happy with the team. But let's now go win one of these trophies. I mean, we've got lots to play in. Super Cup would be pretty cool to win. Champions League would obviously awesome to win, but we're not going to win that yet. Same with the Premier League. It's one of these 2 I want. FA Cup or Carabao Cup. And well, sadly, it's not quite the Super Cup we win this season, as Ayanda Shayuba scores, but in extra time, Arsenal beat us 3-1. And also the side managed by Vincent Kempi, by the way, which is pretty funny. But this year, I said I wanted to win the FA Cup, and you join me here in Wembley as we go 1-0 down in the semi-finals thanks to a goal from Dan Neil in the first minute of the game. And it took us all the way to the 55th to grab our goal as Jack Clark scores. and sends the game to penalties. An incredibly cagey affair. Liam Delap scores our first. They go ahead and score their first thanks to Johan Visser, but eventually they missed their last as Will Lancashire steps up and puts it onto the post as we win the game on penalties and send Ipswich to the final, where we played a Liverpool side who were gunning for the Premier League and the Champions League and were actually just unreal, led by Gianluca Scamacca up front. But this Ipswich side knew how to play ball, and Cameron Humphreys finds Jack Clark to find a great on-rushing run for Liam Delap to make it 1-1. But the Liverpool side also knew how to play ball. Milanovic finds Gravenberch in the middle to find it back to Milanovic to the edge of the box to score to make it 2-1, putting it past Bart Verbruggen. Did we have enough fight in us? Of course we did. Jack Clark finds Somerville down that right-hand side, using that pace to beat his wing-back and find Amari Hutchinson in the middle to make it 2-2, sending the game to extra time where that Ipswich luck came in once again. Ben Johnson finding Somerville to eventually find the top corner, and Ipswich win the FA Cup. The most historic trophy in English history is here, and we've only done it using Benelux signings only and bringing through the fantastic young players in this Ipswich team, which I've got to say again, I just absolutely love. This team is just absolutely fantastic, and it's performing just so well. This season, we come 5th in the Premier League, securing Champions League football thanks to our finish. 68 points, a massive improvement on last season. Again, believing in the youth. And this season, the Champions League, losing to Liverpool in the Champions League in the final. They obviously won the league as well. And did they win the Champions League? They didn't quite. They got knocked out in the quarterfinals to Barcelona. But a team competing everywhere. We beat in one leg in the FA Cup. I mean, who knows what season 5 could hold? It could hold a Premier League trophy. It could hold a Champions League trophy. You'll just have to wait and find out what it's going to hold, because we need to have a talk about this team again. Liam Delap, 23 goals, 5 assists. But Danny Motta, 18 goals and 6 assists. Jack Clark, 15 and 10. I said from the start, I wanted these two to get England caps and be stars for Ipswich. Well, Liam Delap has done exactly that. And Jack Clark, now at 27, still no England cap, but has become an Ipswich star with 25 goal contributions in one season. Ayanda Sishuba, 22, unreal baller here in this club, and a bunch of assists coming from Somerville and Duranville as well, 10 apiece from both of them. Duranville's almost like a young Somerville and could replace him in a couple of years' time. If you guys on Patreon do pick the save up, you could go ahead and do that. And Ben Johnson as well was someone I want to touch on. Released from West Ham, I believe this season in real life. Ipswich picked him up, 11 assists. Now, you know, a Europa League winner, an FA Cup winner with Ipswich. That's what happens at FM. Look out for them free agents, because this guy has always been a star, and you could find your own in this save as well. Wanted by Al Ittihad, he's staying here. For season 5, we are going for the Premier League trophy. Signing 1, a quality rotational centre-back in Sebastian Bornau. Signing 2, fantastic high potential left back Noah Guth, signed from Charleroi. Signing 3, right back Ignace van der Bremt. The signings get better, trust me, because signing 4 is now our 3rd choice DM, Amadou Onana, just showing the sheer quality of this side. And our final signing is Lutrachel Gertrudia from RB Leipzig at 27 years of age, coming in to play whatever position he wants. Centre back, right back, DM, right mid, left back, I don't care. Come in and be fantastic. I've initially placed him in this back 4 with Verbruggen in goal, Van der Bremt, Gertrudia, Fiete and Malacia as our back 5, with Humphreys and Timber in DM, with Duranville, Clark, Sishuba and Liam Delap heading this side as we gun for Premier League glory in the final season of this rebuild. If you want to win the Premier League, you have to beat the big boys, especially away from home. Here at Stamford Bridge, we put Chelsea to the sword in a convincing 2-0 victory, and done the exact same to Manchester United as well. At Old Trafford, this Ipswich time ripped them apart. Samson Baidoo scoring an own goal in 68 minutes, but a late goal for us, scored by that man once again, Danny Motta, the Luxembourgian king, in another 2-0 victory. But overall, it was the games against the small teams, bottling points left, right and centre in the build-up to the end of the season, where we eventually finished down in 6th place, securing Europa League football for you guys that do pick this save up on Patreon. But I'm very happy. We have built the Ipswich Tide to now a guaranteed European side every single season. That obviously does mean we don't end up winning the Champions League as we lose to Newcastle in the round of 16. But we do finish this rebuild by beating Arsenal in the Carabao Cup final, which means we lifted the FA Cup, the Europa League, and the Carabao Cup in this Benelux only Ipswich rebuild in 6 seasons. How do you think we done? Get your comments in down below. An outrageous goal from Sashubia there to make the game 1-1, and we grab a second goal in this game as Gertrudia finds Van der Bremt. Sashubia pokes it through to that man de Ranville for 2-1 as we lift the Carabao Cup. Ipswich are champions of 3 trophies in 6 seasons. Did you enjoy? Smash the like button. How do you think we done? Get your comment down below. And of course, hit that subscribe button, and I'll speak to you guys next time.